I'm Sarah Nelson, and I'd like to welcome you to today's April 18th AACG Meetup. I would like to thank those of you who emailed to express how much they enjoyed last week's meetup at the Albuquerque Museum. If you missed it, you can log into AACG's exclusive members-only video library to view the event. The meetup from today will also be recorded and loaded on there by tomorrow if you want to see this program again. Today we have joining us Aaron Schey, co-owner of Habatat in Royal Oak, Michigan, along with his partner Corey Hampson. Aaron is here to give us an exclusive preview of Glass53 Art Experience, an extraordinary celebration of glass that will take place May 1st through 4th, 2025 at the Habatat Galleries Complex. This year marks the 53rd anniversary of the event, making it the longest running glass art exhibition of its kind. With over 30 artists attending in person and more than 400 stunning works on display and 1,000 plus tickets already acquired by collectors and enthusiasts, Glass 53 is the place to be if you love glass. Today, the AACG is getting a sneak preview of some of the remarkable pieces available for acquisition, many of which have not been seen by the public. Thank you for your membership and support so that we may continue to provide interesting programming. If you have any questions or comments, please type them in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And now I'd like to turn things over to Aaron, Mr. Glass Schey, to start the program. Welcome, Aaron.
Hey, thanks, Sarah. So great to have you. So great to see you all. Hope to see some of your faces real soon. This is going to be an exciting visit. Let me turn my phone on. Do not disturb over here. Of course, it rings right when it starts. All right, there we go. Do not disturb. Okay, cool. So we're going to take a little trip into Glass 53. It's a long time coming. Watching these exhibitions come together is quite incredible. First, I want to put on my top hat, so the show is about to start. So honored to have you all join me. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you share this or have a chance to see it and tell your friends to join the ACG and take a look at it. So let me take over your screen. First and foremost, get my PowerPoint up and running, which is up and running now. And we'll go through some of the amazing visuals and what's going on here at Habatat as well, which is kind of fun. So thank you to Sarah, thank you, Demetra, thank you, Linda, and thank you to AACG for joining us. Looks like my subtitles are back on. That's always fun. Let me turn that off again. All right, cool. All right, so let's dive in. So if you don't know me, my name is Aaron Schey. I'm the co-owner here at Habatat. My partner, Corey Hampson, is here setting up this show. And our predecessor, Ferdinand Hampson, is still involved in the gallery. He's taking trips and tours, visiting artists and studios around the world. So if you have a chance to learn more about our trips, we do a few a year. We've been doing them since, I guess Ferd corrected me recently, we've been doing it since the 80s, which is pretty incredible. So Glass 53, everything Glass 53. This show starts planning in August of the year before. That's how long this show takes to come together. And it's an annual show, so there's lots of steps that come, and I chop through inviting the artist, getting the information together, finding the local events, making sure the artist can participate, organizing the information for the show. You get the idea. But it's May 1st through 4th here at the Habatat Galleries Complex in Royal Oak, Michigan. We've been in this building since 2001, believe it or not, and across both of our spaces, we have like 16,000 square feet of space to share glass artworks. So it's going to be a party. I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to seeing those who are going to attend with us. There's some amazing things I'll be talking about real soon. This is a small teaser of Brent Keyyoung's magnificent masterpiece he brought in from Ohio for our show, and it'll be on display right when you walk in. So the weekend kind of starts on the day before, which is Wednesday night, which I believe is the last day of April. And we are going to have a party like we always do the last couple of years across the street. We have a glass blowing facility right across the street from the gallery that is called Axiom Studios. And we have a party over there for the artists, both in town and those who come to town, as well as all the clients that come in. It's kind of the inside world party that everybody needs to be at. There's nothing for sale. There's people and socializing. It's so much fun to start a kickoff to the celebration. So this is also something new. I brought my mask for the show right here. We have an upcoming first annual Glass Masquerade Ball at my partner Corey Hampson's house. And we're bringing in artists and collectors. I suspect most of the artists will be dressed up. There's going to be a silent raffle, a Plinko game. There's going to be people dressed up. It's going to be something so fun and spectacular. Laura Donifer is even coming to the show. She doesn't have any work on display in the exhibition, but she wants to come be part of this incredible experience, and you're all invited. This is some of the masks that were made by Carmen Vetter for the show. These are all handmade pate verre, and these will be given away for free or given away for people who win the contest, which is something and fun and different. And these are some of the pieces that are going to be in the silent auction. The piece on the left is by Alexis Frenchy, and the piece on the right is also by her. And we have work by Tsuka Choi and a few other artists that have these pieces that are going to be at silent auction, which are very fun. I think they start at $95. So it's something added to the experience. Artist talks. Both Alakasi, April Sergeant, Martin Blank will all be here speaking about their work. If you've heard Martin talk, he's quite an energetic fellow. As well, April Surgeon's new this year. We haven't shown her work in years, and we're bringing her in to talk and let her share her story with our clients. And both of our lashes are, he spoke to ACG recently, up and coming. We're so excited about his work. We have 4 or 5 pieces on display, so they'll be here. On top of that, John Sharvin from Netflix's Blown Away will be here demonstrating at the Axiom Studio. If you ever seen John's work, it's all about space and about the future, and it's so fun to have him join us and share a little bit of his talent as an upcoming exciting artist. Something we offer too is if you want to make your own glass piece, Deanna Clayton teaches you how to make one. You can sit in her class, they bring out wine and you make a pate verre bowl. It's so much fun. My wife and I did it. My bowl's over here, and it's something we add to the experience. It's an extra cost, but for like $209 to get your own glass piece, it's fantastic. It's something you need to do. So before we get into international, I want to cover a couple of things that are going on at the Masterworks auction. Our first day, which is the Thursday, the 1st, we have an auction. 46 pieces up for auction on the secondary market being sold privately through our gallery. And I just want to point out a couple highlights. This wonderful work by Dale Chihuly, this really tall teapot. I've never seen something like it by artist Richard Marquis. David Hutchhausen, one of his really nice orb pieces. Those are in quite demand right now, as long as also a Robin Greeby wall-mounted sculpture we picked up here locally here in one of the towns near us in West Bloomfield. Classics that people always desire, Littleton Vogel's Bag and Bags, and a Harvey Littleton piece from 1977. Early historic works, definitely something museum quality. And then this exquisite William Morris pin sculpture, which we have never had one at auction as far as I can remember. And this Bertolini head, this thing is huge. If you've seen a Bertolini head before, this is twice as big. It weighs 150 pounds. It is a monster. I tried to even tip it. I couldn't do it, but it's at our auction going to be here in May 1st. So that's the auction. We did talk about the auction, all the pieces on our Zoom page. If you go to Habatat now on Google or on YouTube, you can find it. Ferdinand Hampson, the founder of the gallery, and I spoke about it. You have a chance to learn about every single piece. Contact me, place bids, ask questions. We'll move on. So if you want to find the auction too, it's on our website under this Masterworks button right here. Something fun also planned is Corey Hampson here at Habitat Gallery is planning a trip to Prague this September. He's received a lot of attention on it as of late. So if you have an opportunity to travel with Corey to visit some of these amazing places, it's something to sign up for and early and learn about now. And then Ferdinand and Kathy Hampson are doing a Seattle Glass Tour, I believe, in October. So something fun. They've done this trip since the 90s, so they really have it down by now to explore the best to offer of Seattle. So we'll talk about the attending artists now. Who's coming to Glass 53? Let's see if this works. Click Herb. I'll do that. Let's see if it brings up something. So we go to a web page I designed for this particular thing exactly. Who's coming? We have the artists that are speaking. You saw that. We have artist John Sharvin demonstrating. We have people Jen Blazina, Hannah Blowless, Kim Hardy, Rob Stern, Ryan Thompson, Trina Weintraub, Joe Ivacek. These names you might not know these people, but they're very talented artists we've been representing for years. A new one we have is Hannah Bolus, who won the local glass competition here at the Janice Chara Gallery, and we invited her to her show. And then you can see some of our friends coming in. We got Herb Babcock, Asuka Choi, Alex Bernstein, Deanna Clayton, Jeremy Sinkus, someone new this year, Steve Lynn, Hannah Gibson, Lilton and Vogel, Carmen Vetter, Tom Schoon, Robert Mickelson, Stephanie Trenchard, Michael Janis, Claire Kelly, Susan Taylor Glasgow, Wilfred Grutens, Michael Behrens, Marlena Rose, Lucy Lyons, Dean Benson, and Demetra, as well as Laura Donifer. So everybody's going to be here. It's going to be an incredible time. Thank you, Herb. Appreciate that. All right. So what we're doing now is these are some of the highlights off the bat of the show. We're doing these Glass 53 exclusive launches. And what they are really important aspects of the show that are highlights for you to come and see. This right here on the left is an ad we did locally in a local newspaper in our city of Royal Oak to get people aware so the local public can get tickets and sign up for our show. So the first thing I want to show you is a show called From Blender to Glass. And all these are on our website. You can see them right now. Robert Mickelson used software called Blender to create virtual glass pieces in 3D and then was able to hand make them in real life. He used it kind of like a how to do. And the small piece right here, you can see this piece was done in the virtual world, while this is the piece created in real life. And we've already sold a couple of these pieces. They're very exciting. You can see the 3D wrote these images in 360 on our YouTube page, on our Masterworks page. If you want to see them, let me know. Um, but they're so fun. You'll see another one in the upcoming presentation. We have a new offering of an incredible collection of artwork by the maestro himself, Lino Tagliapietra. We have like 10 to 15 pieces, maybe even more, going to be on display by the artist. So we gave him a whole room for people to come and experience the work. And Lino is a master. The works are incredible. We are honored to be able to offer these works and include them in our exhibition. We made this happen quite quickly, and we are impressed that it came together. So it's something you need to come and see in person, especially if you love Lino's work. Another exclusive is Minhee England from Blown Away as well, season 3. This is a giant mirrored piece that's mounted to the wall that you can see yourself in, and these all these glass objects that are put inside of it that go on for infinity. This is a picture of her installing it in somewhere in a desert. It's called Tell Me How You Really Feel. We'll have it on a black wall in the gallery, but it's a little different, but it's something you must see. It's very fun. Next, so this is Christopher Reese's Life. This is the largest piece I think, and the heaviest piece that Christopher Reese ever made. It is a 33-inch tall egg that's made out of solid glass, and it is incredible to be able to show this during the show. It's very, very rare. He made this years ago, and it's coming from a private collection in Ohio that was driven up, and my guys installed it. It took them an entire day just to install this one piece because it weighs so much. This will be roped off during the show, but something immaculate that must be experienced in person. And I hope to have more videos of it, though it's very clear. In the very bottom of it, right here, there's a small earth that reflects to the whole piece on top as if it's a hologram. Yeah, something absolutely spectacular. Something also new, we have six massive works by artist Rob Stern. He was also on the season 3 of Blown Away. We've invited him for the last couple of years to our Glass International show, and he's putting on quite the spectacular exhibition. And each of his works are star or space-like, but he's doing some new freestanding orb pieces. So we're honored to have him in the show, and it's something new. And last, we have 5 glass and bronze pieces by artist Lucy Lyons from her Together Alone series. This picture just arrived to me today, and I wanted to make sure to put this piece in this presentation for you to see first. The works are all similar in the bronze bodies with glass and glass blankets. They are just immaculate, and Lucy will be here for the show, and we're honored to have her. Okay. Here's the rest of the artists that are invited. The big list, I know it goes on and on and on. I'll be able to put this together quickly for you to kind of get a glance at. If you're watching this on the replay, you could pause it. So many incredible, talented artists in our Habatat family, and we're honored to have them all featured in the show. All right, so now we'll get to some of the work. So this is mostly a collection of newer pieces that have come in for the show. Nothing you've seen before. Nothing that we've shown at previous shows. So I want to make this so it wasn't super incredibly long, but there'll be over 400 works on display in this exhibition. Shelley Allen, many of you know her work. She was a student of William Morris, and she's still working today out in Seattle. Her husband, Rick, is an incredible artist as well. This is actually the piece she started last year at the Glass Coast Weekend. She made this form in our event, I think it was in January, February last year, in the hot shop of the Ringling College of Art and Design. Well, she just finished the piece and she's sending it to us for our show. So there's a kind of a narrative of people seeing this piece being made and then coming to the exhibition. So we're honored to have it, honored to have her. Anthony Amako Ata is a newer artist. He's been showing at Heller for many, many years. We've shown him first during the Not Grandma's Glass presentation, and we found his work online, maybe from a Pilchuck show, but we were very impressed with his work and his message and his tie to his community back in Nigeria. And this work is something new for us, but it's very important for the glass world to start continue expanding beyond just being pretty. This is a narrative expressing his beliefs and his passion. And I hope that more people pay attention to his work because he's going to be a very important artist in the near future. Iketic and Josh Davids, the two from Kalamazoo. You've seen their works for a few years. We've shown them pretty consistently in most of our events. They are blown and then carved works. They always have a throwback for me, kind of like the John Miller cityscape pieces, where the test tube pieces were carved down to create cityscapes. Well, they've taken it to the whole next level, blowing these blanks and carving them down, different layers of glass that they cut away, and they're really at the top of their game now. This is the other side of the same piece to show you their insane talent. And they've come a long way. And every time I see something they create, they always blow me away. Herb Babcock, who's here at the show, we've been showing Herb since the gallery was founded back in 1855, I think. Just kidding, 1971. And Herb has been consistent with bringing in his masterpieces. This work is a large freestanding sculpture made with metal and glass. And sometimes they can go outside and sometimes they can't. But each work that Herb makes is an important part to our community here in Michigan. He is an historic part working at CCS for many, many years. And he just did an interview recently for a local newspaper talking about the history of glass and the importance of its legacy, which I've shared on social media. So thank you, Herb, for being part of our show and being here today. Artist Martin Blank, who will be speaking during our event. He's going to be showing one of his videos, which I'm looking forward to. Um, he'll be bringing some of his alabaster lotuses, as well as a dark lotus and a giant new blue form that's new to me, which I'm excited about. So um, Martin will be here to talk about his work. He is such a passionate guy, and he's had a lot of up and downs lately emotionally, but we're grateful that he's back to the shop and going to be here for our event. Let's see, you got Jen Blazina. Many of you are familiar with Jen Blazina's recent work where she's exploring purses. She'll have these cast glass and cold work purses that contain bronze as well and other mixed media. Some of them mount to the wall, some of them are freestanding. And she has a show right now in Wisconsin at the, it's going to come to me, I know it will, at the Museum of Wisconsin, it'll come to me. But she's setting it up there.
Bergstrom Muller.
Bergstrom Mahler, thank you. She's setting it up there. I just talked to her a minute ago. She's setting up right now, but we're gonna have a
Awesome.
great collection of her work, and I think maybe 6 or 7 purses on display, along with some other new pieces that we're excited about. Many of you are friends with Christina Bothwell. Her and her husband are both artists, and she is such a talent. Her work is so moving. I immediately saw this piece and sent it to my wife, just because I love the way it had such a touching passion for kind of a mixture of narration of the real and fantasy, telling the story of being a mother and motherhood, and we're grateful to have this work and one other piece in our show. This piece is actually 45 inches tall and it's downstairs. And once again, as all of our glass friends know, photos don't do them justice, but I hope to make some videos as the show is on throughout the year. This is a new artist. This is the artist that won the event at the selection at the local Janus Chera Gallery here in Michigan, which is held in the Jewish Community Center. We often go there and visit and see this show. It's an illuminated box. This is something new and different out of cast glass, mold blown glass, and steel. What's interesting about it is those black dots are actually white, but because of the darkness of the photo, they appear black. So looking forward to see someone new when you're here. Artist Karen Browning. Many of you seen her work at our last show in Florida, maybe before. These works are created using a high-powered rifle, shooting into a wax mold that she then turns into glass and foils over. And we've had a couple commissions from these. This is a recent commission that she just finished. I wanted to incorporate in this presentation. They're very fun. I was talking to her too about being able to send out samples to people who would want one and make their own hole with their own weapon. But it's a little more complicated than that because wax melts. Who'd have thought? So we'll see if anything comes from that in the future. It's a good choice. We haven't showed her in a few years, but we've kept our eye on her. And man, she is such a talent. This work is bigger than it looks. I don't have dimensions there, but off the top of my head, I would say it's probably 28 inches tall. And it's just spectacular. Watching her work in the framework style, it's so different than some of the artists that we show. And she has it all her own. You often see floating clouds and ladders in her work, but this one kind of feels like a ship, like you're on a whole different world, and it's quite spectacular. We've shown the last year, and this is our second year showing Simone Prestani, an Italian artist, and master of the Italian techniques. This is really a stunning work. It has two glass trees in that steel mounted base, almost pulling. It's called the tension series. And at 46 inches wide with the base, you can see how large it is in scale, 27.5 inches tall. We're really pulling up the stops here for this show, and I'm so proud to be part of it, showing work like this because it's never really been seen in America. And with all the new rules and tariffs popping around, all the artists are still gung ho about showing in America and being part of our community. Christopher Day is someone I met a couple years ago when the Glass Art Society conference was here in Detroit. His work is important to the Black community and the white community because it's talking about indifference and it's talking about the history that we came from. He himself has a I think one Black parent and one white parent, but he's out of both communities because of it. And he kind of came across glass in an odd way and started creating with it and is using it as a voice. And he's someone who's important to the art world today, and we're excited to be behind him. We get the work from the UK where he is. It's always a little bit of pulling teeth, but we're grateful to have at least one piece for our show. Cheryl Decott is amazing. We've known her for years, and she's usually been doing photo transfer or pate ver transfer of images. And this is the first time she's done these important glass books. They're not that big, 6 or 7 inches tall, the story of Africa and the explorers, but they really relate as artwork in the novels that we have in our lives that really mean something to us. As a Black artist, she always to make sure to incorporate that story of Black history in her artwork, which is important today because it identifies with such a big part of our community, and we're honored to have her in our show. Somehow I got Minnie England again, but this is a different picture of it. Oh, right, because the first one was in the launch. This is a different picture of it and the same kind of location, a different time of night, and you can see how it illuminates from the LED lights. I'm really forward to seeing this on display during our event. Oh, they're running away. Where'd they go? Oh man, Hannah Gibson. Her work is so fun. We're grateful to have her at our show too. We've been showing her work for years, these little Lego guys. She works at different scales and different sizes. And we always get people who call, and they usually buy like 3 or 4 of them based on the scale and size. Show in last show we had down in Sarasota, we had a set like this that sold pretty fast during the exhibition. So we're grateful to have something fun like this for our show here at Glass 53. Susan Taylor Glasgow, a longtime friend of our gallery too. She always has such a vision. Her work is about the role of women in society and about fitting in and not fitting in and your roles. And it's so incredible to have her in our gallery. She's done these big chandeliers in the past and bustiers, but since she has changed studios, she's not really working in that kind of body of work anymore. She's still she was a seamstress in her past career, as many of you may know, until she incorporates kind of weaving the glass together. But I'll show you something funny. If you look at this piece and I click the button, the other side of the piece will appear. She has a sense of humor with her work, and they're always something up her sleeve, and we're honored to have her in the show. Wilfred Grutens, I just saw he may have joined the chat. Good to see you, Wilfred, if you are here. He sent in 2 showstopper works. You saw the other one that was earlier in the presentation when we're talking about the people attending the show, but look at the vibrancy and look at the coloring of this glass cube. Each layer, I think there's about 30 layers of glass that have all been hand painted to create this floating vision. And we recently showed his work in the Scottsdale show in Arizona, and people could not stop staring and looking at his work. So again, something that's incredible. It's going to be on display during the exhibition. Work by Philip Baldwin and Monica Gugelsberger. I must have flipped their names around when I was typing them in quite quickly. These are wall panels of their Destination Unknown series. Each piece is sold separately, and look at the scale of these things. They're around 47 by 47 inches in the back frame, not including the beautiful, I guess, meteors flying down for each particular sculpture. There's going to be 4 of these. There's also a yellow one on display during the show. These are incredible works, and I know that Philip and Monica will have an exhibition planned soon at the Fort Wayne Museum of Art in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So we'll be sending some work over there as to continue their legacy in America. Artist Kim Hardy, many of you know her work. If you come to Detroit, she is a uh, she runs the glass department here at CCS. She makes these very organic, lifelike anatomy sculptures of different tones and colors. And they're takes a certain person to really dive in and love this work, and we have sold a couple of them in our past exhibitions. But you can't deny her talent of mixing color and creating something that really feels part of our anatomy or an animal's anatomy. And she's been doing it for a while, and she's getting larger in scale. Okay, so we got Krista Israel. Now, could you put this in your bedroom and let it live with you is the question. She is an incredible talent. She is from the Netherlands, and we've been showing her for years. She won the Not Grandma's Glass competition a couple times in a row, and she's really pushing, what glass can be. We just sold a piece just like this with just two arms and two legs recently, but this is a full-blown multiple person piece, and something you got to see. It definitely will make you catch your eye, and it's important that glass does that. Artist Michael Janis will be showing a new wall panel piece along with a couple other wall panel pieces that explore this particular one is exploring shadow puppets, which is kind of a fun, lighthearted topic. He's really impressive. His body of work have changed over time. I own a piece of his when he was doing the panels with the flowers and the faces, but he's exploring and having fun. We'll have a couple more pieces of these vibrant colored sculptures, and he will be here for the weekend. Artist Richard Jolly. Many of you are familiar with Richard's work, a long-time glass blower and pioneer in the community. We will have two sculptures of this body and form, these pink wren vessel forms. And it just goes to show he's been really impressive over the years, making the sculpture that are easily identifiable as his. And it's nice to see that because some artists, when they work in a body of work, it becomes very cookie cutter. But Richard can really play with scale and size depending on what he wants to create. A fun work by our friend Claire Kelly is going to be here for the weekend. I really love these fun, lighthearted elephant type works. She also does these newer flat cast animal pieces that we had in our Sarasota event, and we're looking forward to seeing these on display. These are kind of like adult child's toys, but they really light up a room and they can really make you smile. Seattle-based artist Steve Klein, we've been representing him on and off for years. These are just so vibrant and colorful, and they incorporate such a plane with an object freestanding inside of it, just to add to the 3D realm of reality. And he doesn't dabble too much in these larger uh, colors. Usually there's less color, and we'll have a couple more in our show with one or two objects, but a big fan of his, and he's a really great guy. Artemis Kumpar has sent us this new freestanding sculpture called Jungle Fever, 43 inches tall, cast glass. She and the late Zora Palova are really pushing the material in scale and size. And we're so honored to still have her working and creating these impressive forms, pushing the medium that are museum quality, are relevant of the world and economy, creating the works that she wants to create that will be important for the future of glass. Someone new for us, help Laura Kramer, their glass in this media. This kind of reminds people of different things. They're different pieces of glass that have been put together to create these furry-like forms, but believe me, they're not furry-like. This one has different types of feels, and this is an overhead view of this work. And they feel like they're kind of like growing out of this world. I mean, we have three or four in our show. Weston Lambert, he's newer for our gallery. He has a huge social media following, probably one of the biggest in glass, which is kind of exciting. He usually works on smaller sculptures, but this one is quite big at 18 by 18 inches, incorporating glass and earth. So he's granite. This particular one, he uses Turkish jade for the glass and some kind of concrete for the bottom, and they really fit together as if they were created together. And he's someone to keep your eye on. Artist Jung Lee, we've shown his work on and off for years, and we're honored to have him in this show for the first time in a few years, maybe like 5 years. We had two works, and one of them just sold, believe it or not. We put it up online and it sold almost instantly. So we're going to get another one in for the show, which is great news. And then from there, we'll be able to continue our relationship with Jung and share it with the world because his works are so vibrant and polished and clean and, for lack of a better term, perfect.
in a Zoom meeting.
All right, we're going to go on to the next one. We have artist Steve Lynn. So Steve Lynn will be here for our show. I wanted to put this in the presentation because it's not going to make it to our show this year due to shipping issues with this particular work. But we have two other works that will be on display for Steve. This was a work he just finished that we're selling online called The Anatomy of a Portrait. And I'm hoping that I'll learn more about this piece once it does arrive in the future for our exhibition. But Steve will be here for the show, the chance to meet him, and we'll have other works on display. Many of you are familiar with John Middleton, Kate Vogel. I was grateful to hear they're participating after all the strife they had down North Carolina and all the stuff they had after the hurricane. If they've been able to create work for our exhibition, you send them an invitation and you kind of don't know. You wait to hear what's going on with them in their world, and they finally got back to me. So they were working back in their studio and they had some works for us. These works are incredible. They are gimbal works. The glass in the middle is in the center and the whole thing floats and moves around, which is something very unique to see incorporated with glass. And they are getting better, and this work is just stunning. Some of them are plug-in for light up, some of them light from above, but they're just spectacular works. Now, one of the artists speaking for our show is Baltazar Lucasi. This is a brand new piece no one has seen before that's coming in directly from his studio in Hungary. And I'm looking forward to learning more about his life, career, and work. We did some talks with him recently, but things change real quick. And we've told him to really focus on your career and your work and creating masterpieces. And this is really showing off his incredible talent. Back to Lucy Lyon's work. This is a different piece from her series, Together Alone. This piece just came in a day or two before image-wise, and I put it in the presentation as I was throwing it together. Moving work, empowerment, how people are not so much alone, but they have to rely on themselves no matter what, whatever circumstances they're in. I'm looking forward to seeing all 5 of these on display. Another example of Robert Mickelson's work that was created with Blender, the software. This work is called So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. And if any of you know what that reference is from, I'll be impressed because I read the books a long time ago. And he's just inspired. And there's different pieces that are inspired by the zodiac sign, heaven and hell, all these other things that he was able to create these works from. And they're completely 3D and they're going to be a real highlight of the show. A lot of younger people are drawn into the flamework community, probably from the functional world community. And so we've really pushed and made sure they are aware of this Robert Mickelson show that will be on display here at Habatat. Lucas Majardin, a cast glass master from the Czech Republic. And look at that thing. It looks like almost like a piece of a sofa's couch. Just the technique and the curve and the coloring and the perfection required. We'll have 2 or 3 of the pieces by Lucas in the show and just showing off the talent that still exists and working today in Europe. Another European artist, many of you know, Karen Morch, who did really well with her work down in Sarasota, and we're asking for more work from her every day. These fluid motions out of this out of these cast glass pieces that have been cold worked as well. The cold working is on all of the piece, but some of it is cold work clear, while other parts of it are still matte. Someone who's going to be an important part of the future as well, and I hope you all consider one of her works. So during the show, during the setup of the show, I'm only responsible for installing a few things. I have great people here that do a great job installing artwork, and this is one that I installed because I could. Simo Peretti's wall-mounted sculpture, and it's 2 panels of glass that mount to a piece of wood, exploring the texture of life and the texture of nature. And she's made some incredible pieces. I know the Corning Museum bought a giant piece as of recent, and we're honored to continue showing Sybil in our show, and someday I'm sure we'll see her soon. Holman and Knowles, they usually have known for their heads and spears and their freestanding figures, but this is a different body of work called The Crow Flies Home, their Geode series. This is not that big. It's probably, maybe by 12 by 12, and it has a glass transferred picture inside of it, I believe, and a blown object around to create something beautiful and simple. I love it. Now, many of you got our invitation a long time ago to the International. It had a yellow Colin Reid ring on it. Well, immediately after the invitation went out, someone called and bought that piece from the invitation. And that's always a story you got to tell. People call, but Colin Reed's piece did sell and had shipped out. And I had told Colin this, and he was ecstatic. But so he sent me this other work called the Loch Moderate, and it's one of his optical pieces, and it is a spectacular show-stopping work. The vision of the edge doubles back into the glass as you walk around the piece, and it is immaculate. And we're honored to have Colin on the show. Bruno Romanelli, another European artist working at the top of his game, with someone we haven't shown, I don't think, ever in our gallery before. And he's obviously we have three works on display that are all the same tone, which is green, but all different shapes and different optics. Something spectacular that will add to the overall show. Marlena Rose will be here. She has a few works on display, including a bell tower, a wall with wonderful butterflies in it, and then a smaller kimono series piece. You may have remembered these. We showed these at SOFA years ago in a large scale, but this one is 30 inches tall, so it's not as big as the 60-inch tall kimonos we showed in the past. These are all created in the sandcast style, and they probably take a little bit of time to anneal, but once light is behind them, they are really vibrant. Artist Richard Royal, we've shown him for years as well, and he has a few different bodies of work, and we're really excited about this body of work. And he's sending us three pieces from this body of work that Richard's work are about family and life and the people that become part of your life, whether it's people you meet, people you marry, kids you have. So every time you see an object attached to his object, that's what it represents. Just beautiful pieces. Right. All right. Can you hear me still? John Sharvin, who's doing the demo I talked about earlier. This work is a fun work about space and time, and it has a humorous tone to it, as you can probably tell. And he's sending us some new pieces that are for our wall too, which I'm excited about. So you can explore a small space mounted to your wall without leaving your room. Thank the Lord, Haruo Shimamoto came in and installed this work herself. I think it was 82 panels mounted to the wall, or mounted to this rack above the wall that each piece hangs down individually. Just an incredible piece by Haruo. The coloring is beautiful, the tone is beautiful, and the depth is just incredible. And we have two works on display in the show of Haruo's. And yeah, I gotta thank her again for installing the work, because it does take some time. Someone new for our gallery is Jeremy Sinkus. They are, I guess they call them glass sponges. So he's able to cast glass in a spongy kind of way and incorporate cast glass and hot glass to it. And it's something new for us this year, something we've never seen before. The prices of these are very reasonable, and we have like 4 or 5 coming for our show. And I'm looking forward to seeing them in person and really getting my hands on one to seeing what they're really like. But someone new, something exciting. Ethan Stern out of California. This is Structure Sound 1 and 2. I just thought these were just beautiful and vibrant and in color and tone. Each work is obviously made by the artist uniquely, but looking at them as a pair just really knocks your socks off. And they are sold individually, should you like one more than the other, but Ethan's someone who's doing some incredible work today. Talking about Rob Stern again, this is the same piece I probably showed earlier in the PowerPoint presentation. I can't quite remember. But 5 works will be on display, all substantial pieces, all museum quality. April Surgeon, I talked to her earlier in this display too, because she's going to be here giving us a talk. We haven't shown her work in a while. I think we're going to have 5 pieces as well. These are a couple of my favorite, 24 by 18 tall. Just subtle scenes of her world travels that she has then transported via her technique into glass, which is called cameo engraving. And we're grateful to have her in our show. So back to Lino. This is another piece from the big presentation we'll have of like 10 to 15 pieces on display. Something that's just spectacular, and can't talk enough about it. I think it's going to be just a fun experience for people to see so many Linos at our gallery for this show. Someone new, Kazumi Takazawa, and blown Marini glass, kind of simpler form, showing his early technique, an up-and-comer who's exciting to show off in this exhibition. We see talent. We want to bring talent into our show. And bringing him in will be important because we have 3 of his pieces. We'll see what the response is like. We'll see how it's received. He has a good collection of different bodies of work, but we were drawn mostly to this, and we'll see if we're right. Dean Benson and Dimitra Thanopoulos will be here for our show. Thank the Lord, setting up some of her pieces for this exhibition. And this is a piece from her previous exhibition here called Currents of Uncertainty. I think we sold like around 7 pieces of their work during her exhibition and plus commissions. So we're grateful to have them here and know that they're so busy and working so hard. Stephanie Trenchard out of Wisconsin. She will be here along with Deanna Clayton, but she just created this new piece. I just got this picture probably 3 days ago, incorporating 9 sand cast glass sculptures that create the overall vision of Lenora Carrington, who's someone I need to learn about when I start talking about this piece. Just got it in, very excited about the work, and she has a couple more pieces that will be on display, all just colorful and showing off her incredible talent. Another person we haven't shown in a long time here at the gallery is Carmen Vetter. Maybe some of you remember her work. She had these big panels first that looked like moonscapes, and then she sent in these radioactive signs that we had on the gallery in the wall, and they're layer upon layer of pate verre sprinkled over top. This is their newest body of work. Very object-like movement, circles, and they're very light and peaceful pieces. And look at the size of them at 42 inches by 42, each panel being 21 by 21. Something great, and she'll be here for the show, and she also made those masks that you saw at the beginning that we're going to be giving away, which is kind of fun and exciting. Now, put away your cheese, because now we're at Trina Weintraub. She's going to be bringing in some of her friends for her exhibition, which is a lot of fun. These little mice works always grab the attention. We just sold one to the Flint Institute of the Arts because I wanted one to have for the public to come and see. You can notice that there's a little mouse dropping there. It's a very important part of the piece. You cannot lose it. Often the cleaning services throw them out thinking they're garbage, but they're actually glass as well. And she'll be here with a couple pieces along for this presentation, and I know they'll sell quick. We had 3 of them down in Sarasota, and they all sold almost instantly. So great, kudos to her for making something so fun and different. And now we're getting close to the wrap up here. Brent Keong, he is one of my favorite artists. He just pushes the flame working glass technique to the max. This work looks like it's straight out of a temple or some kind of religious get together, because you have this floating almost like circular coin inside of a triangle inside of this giant cage. And I know he does these works in pieces and puts them together, but it's still incredible to see in real life. And this thing's almost 50 inches tall, and it's right in the front of the gallery. He's really creating some of the best work of his career. If you don't know Brent, he spent 40 years as the glass director at the Cleveland University of Art, and he's made some huge cityscapes, mountainscapes, um, portals, and this is right up there with the best of his work, and we're grateful to have him. So many works are featured in the show, many more than you've seen here, because we have works that we haven't pulled out in a while from our vault, works that have come in that I don't have photos of because the artists haven't had time. They make the work so quickly they don't have time to photograph it properly. They have the raw shots where they're not worth seeing here. But at Glass53, you got to come see this show. Now, if you can't see it during the grand opening, that's fine. Please come and see it after. Come and see it when you can for the month of May, June, July, and August. Earlier you get there, the better it is, so you get the chance to see out of the works that are available. The award winners from this show that are going to be selected by the 3 judges will go to the Fort Wayne Museum of Art in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And some of the works that you see from the show will go over there because they have their summer glass that quadruples their attendance, which is kind of exciting to go and be part of. So thank you all for joining me today. This is a lot of fun to show off some of the stuff. All these pictures hit my computer and I have no one to show. So when I get a chance to show at these kind of Zoom and presentations and let people know what's going on, it's so much fun. I feel like every time I do one of these shows, I have a new coffee table book because every work is just so immaculate and so stunning. So thank you all again. If you have any questions, Aaron Schey at Habatat.com. Call me, email me. I'm here anytime. And thank you, Sarah, for hosting today.
Oh yeah, no problem. That was really fascinating. So you said it's up till August. Do you know at the end of August or?
End of August. Yep.
End of August.
End of
Okay.
August,
So everybody
yes.
has a little bit of time. If they can't get there in May, they can get there before August. That's great.
Yeah, definitely come and visit and set up your tour because Corey and I are both here to show you around. And we don't really bring in schools. Someone asked in the question. We usually
Yeah.
bring in like groups who are, art groups or senior citizens groups. Usually schools don't want to handle the liability, but kids do come in, usually older kids, and everybody who comes in is pretty respectful, which is kind of exciting and great
So
to
you have
spread
the
the word.
events May 1st through 4th, right?
That's the
And then it
VIP
shows
event.
up through August. Do you do any events through the, middle of the show or whatever? Is there anything else anyone needs to know about that they can come to see besides the show? Is there another lecture or anything in the middle of the show?
Not really.
Okay.
We probably want everybody to come during the VIP weekend.
Right.
Other than
Okay.
that, it's a great one-on-one with either Corey or myself or even Ferdinand to walk around the show with and go out to dinner or do something fun around here. And
Okay.
you get to really see the work because during the big grand opening on Saturday night, it is kind of a madhouse as we say in here.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
we've designed the place in a way to prevent people from going near the glass, of course, but
Yeah.
some people just don't want that overwhelming feeling and come in later and check it out one at a time. And it's great to do that because we love setting the time aside to meet with clients and show them the entire gallery and give us some pointers and talk about the works and sometimes able to connect with the artists if they're around or, put together a visit with the artist, which is always fun
There's a
too.
lot of work, Erin, about how much square feet is this?
So this building is 12,000 square feet here.
12,000. Wow. That's
And then
amazing.
our vault is another 6,000 square feet. And
Hmm.
that's not including our two buildings, our building of storage, which is like the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
All the boxes in there that have come in. So
You
it
would
is
find the Holy Grail in there.
for sure. It's totally in there. But when you walk around, it can be overwhelming at first. But that's what I say to people like to take your time. I say photos are free because it helps you really focus on what things caught your eye. That way when you walk through a second time, should you want to, you can kind of see the works that you were drawn to the most. And
Mhm.
then during the VIP weekend, the artists are there. You have a chance to talk to them and see them and hang out with their friends.
And so if you can't make it to the show, the catalog's online. People can see what's in the show and then call you if they're interested.
Yes, all the work is on habitat.com. I've
Okay.
been working very hard to. We have two database systems, one for the website and one for our inventory, and you have to do everything twice.
Yeah.
So I make sure to
Double the
hammer it
fun.
out. Yeah, hammer it out before I don't forget. And when I started at the gallery, I would work an Excel sheet and I dump all the information in there as well. I don't do that anymore because I don't need to, but I keep an Excel sheet of where I'm at on everything that comes in and then who I have to yell at to say, where is your work?
Right.
Why aren't you here?
Who's
John Miller,
missing?
talking to you, John Miller. But yeah, it's spectacular. But like we always talk about, looking at the pictures on the computer versus seeing in real life is night and day. But
I
people
bet.
come in, this place like changes people's life when they walk through that door. It's so fun to see people gasp and swear. Like, oh my, oh, like I've never seen anything in their entire life.
Such
And
good energy.
it's
We have a question from Judith Cushman. As you gather glass for the show, do you notice any new trends in the way glass is being used? For example, any themes in the work given or current environment
that's a
given?
great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. Judith
During
always
the
has great questions.
yeah, during the time of like the COVID, we had the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter movement. People were really diving in to creating work with those kind of themes. And
Hmm.
between you and me, the problem with that, it's perfectly okay. But the problem with that is it gets out of context for the future. So
Right.
10 years from now, the work that was diving into the important matters of that time is not relevant anymore. It's relevant, but not relevant in the same manner that it was then. So
Hmm.
it I've noticed um a lot of artists working with what they can. Like the a lot of the older artists who have been around for a while are creating large cast glass sculptures. Richard Jolly's creating, immaculate blown vessels. But a lot of the younger artists are creating on budget. They only have so much money they can invest in for the materials and the time to create things. So they don't have like large, huge installations. They usually have a couple pieces coming down the pipeline. We need to
Hmm.
get these artists some more money so they can really create in a way that the older artists did in the 80s and 90s, where they were pushing and creating to get the medium out in front of people. There are museum quality works being made by
Oops, your sound went a little soft there, Aaron.
in fact. So there's a lot of artists creating a market that works today, but we need to keep pushing the needle into the future. And the more that we allow these artists to invest in their creation process, the better they'll do in the future. Any more questions?
Let's see if any more come in. And I don't know, ever since you touched your earbud, we can hardly hear you. I don't know if something went soft for a minute, or maybe it's your computer. We hate to lose you because you got so much good stuff to say. But
Is that any better?
oh,
Is
that's
that
much
any
better. Yeah, much better. Okay, there you are.
I just switched earbuds. I don't know how these things work.
Okay, that's okay. Well, don't
But
be
also-
shy, everyone. Everyone has a chance to ask Erin a question about anything they saw today or their works or about how this gathering is put together. Let's see. We'll give everybody another minute or so, and then we can.
I just have a comment. I mean,
Sure.
the experience, I've been there year after year after year, and the experience is phenomenal. The show is incredible. Aaron and his team do a really wonderful job, and just hanging out with the artists is so much fun. I'd encourage anybody who can to come see the show.
Thank
It
you,
looks
Howard. I
like a lot of
appreciate
fun.
that. That's great. Yeah, it's a whirlwind of fun. It's the most memorable glass experience. We're trying to remarket this exhibition and weekend as a glass art experience because it really is. You have a chance to experience so many new things. We're going to the Cranbrook Museum to check out their back room in their VIP back room. Some people have, I think the ACG might have did this when they were here last to see what their state-of-the-art storage facility was like. Is that true, Linda? Did you guys see that when you were here?
Yeah, we did go to Cranbrook.
That's great.
It's really interesting.
So we're catching up with you guys and doing that for the people who are coming in for our weekend because so many people have never even heard of it. And I've never heard of it until you guys did it. So it's grateful to be part of that and be able to share that kind of little trick. They also have miniature golf in the front porch. They keep trying to sell me. And we're gonna see the student show, which is cool too. But we have a good amount of people sign up for our Bay every weekend, but we always have room for more.
That's great. Well, we still have about 5 more minutes for our program. If anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask a question rather than typing it in, we can do that since some of us have already done that. It might be easier.
Sarah, do you want me to end the recording now? Or?
Let's see. Sure, I guess we could. And then people
Yeah.
can sit down and ask questions. Well, thank you, Erin. And it was really fascinating. It was so lovely to see everything in your PowerPoint all at once and just the scope of glass and how glass really has a wide breadth of, all the certain things you can do with it. And it really provides community. And I just think it would be really wonderful if everybody has a chance to go see the show and participate in some of the programming. So thank you, Erin, for your time and putting all that together.
You're most welcome. I'll put in the chat the link to the show.
Perfect.
The
That would be
invitation,
great.
so you can kind of just go there and kind of see everything we talked about. It's very simple, but it's a lot of fun to do this kind of thing every year.
Perfect. Okay, well, we'll stop the recording and everybody can unmute themselves and say hi to Erin and if they have any last minute questions. Thanks again, Erin.